Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Talking Reds. I hope everyone has had a great weekend and have had a great Monday, as it is Monday and it is back to the latest news and transfer news on Talking Reds. If you want to keep up with all the updated news on Liverpool and love Liverpool content in general, this is the channel for you, Talking Reds. So if you are new, subscribe to the channel. If you aren't new and you like watching the content anyway, please make sure you do hit that like button on the video as well. So welcome, everyone. Welcome to Talking Reds. Let's talk about the transfers and the transfer news of today and over the weekend. The latest news regarding Marc Guehi coming out yesterday. Milos Kerkez is set to sign this week, so that's certainly going to be done in the next coming days. Jarrell Quansah has pretty much gone to Bayer Leverkusen with a buyback clause as well with Jarrell Quansah. So there is a potential chance there where he does come back to Liverpool in the future. Darwin Nunez has pretty much given the green light to Napoli, the Napoli move. So that could be done over the next coming days. But however, Liverpool are asking for a significant fee for Nunez. Certainly one enough to get most of the money back for Nunez. I think that's what they're wanting to do. But yeah, welcome everyone. Get in the chat. If you want your chat to come up on the screen, I will get it up as soon as you get your comments in. Let me know your thoughts on Marc Guehi. Let me know your thoughts on Jarrell Quansah. Is it the right stipulation to get a buyback clause in there? And let me know your thoughts also on Nat Phillips, because Nat Phillips has officially left Liverpool to West Brom. So I'm going to go over that as well. Let's start off with the Marc Guehi then news that came out over the weekend. Marc Guehi is prepared to see out his final year of contract if the right move does not materialise this summer. However, Liverpool are in a very, very powerful position over this. Paul Joyce said that Palace's asking price will determine whether Liverpool move now or look to sign Guehi on a free next summer. So this is all on Palace. I think this is all on Palace. If Palace put I won't say a huge fee on Marc Guehi, if they put a fee on maybe 40, 45, 50 million on Marc Guehi, I don't think Liverpool go there. Because the reason why is because he is free next summer. And we are in the position of pretty much what Real Madrid was with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Would they pay another 40, 50 million for a player when they can get him for free next summer? But that does leave us a little problem. The problem is Jarrell Quansah has gone to Bayer Leverkusen. So really, we need a defender this season. Otherwise, we are going into the season again with three defenders in Konate, Gomez, and Van Dijk, and two of them injury prone. We've done that before, and it backfired massively against us going into the season unprepared. Yes, I agree we should wait for Marc Guehi if he is free next season, and Palace are asking too much, but I still think we should certainly look to bring another defender in this summer, because we cannot go again like we did in 2021. We cannot go into a season with three centre-backs, two of them injury prone. We can't do that. I think Marc Guehi, by the way, is an absolute brilliant player. And I think Marc Guehi would be an astounding signing. Whether we got him for free next summer or whether we got him for 35, 40 million this summer, I think it would be a brilliant coup from Liverpool, because this guy is not only brilliant as a defender and he's brilliant on the ball, but he's a captain. He's a leader. It's another voice in the dressing room. It's another leader in the dressing room. And you can't go wrong with that for me regarding Marc Guehi. But yeah, according to Standard as well, according to the Standard Sport, that Marc Guehi has decided to leave Palace. That was over the weekend as well, but nothing has come as such on that in terms of is he going to leave? Is he going to not? I think it's a situation now where I think Guehi would probably be open to leaving. Obviously, when a club like Liverpool comes around, no disrespect to Crystal Palace, I think they're a brilliant, well-run club, and again, just won the FA Cup, so they've got a good project themselves going on. But when a club like Liverpool come round, it's hard for someone like a Marc Guehi to turn it down. And when the opportunity does come, then he wants to take it. And again, I think Liverpool are in a good position here with Marc Guehi, right? They're in a very, very good position. But like I said, it's all on Palace. I think if Palace had too much onto the price tag, I don't think Liverpool do it, because like I said, you get them free next season. The ideal situation is here to happen would be for Liverpool to try and negotiate the price down for Palace this summer and try getting this summer. If we can get in this summer, for me, that is brilliant. That is brilliant. Marc Guehi for Quansah is this fantastic replacement for me. Good evening, Prakash. How are you doing this tonight, my friend? Marc Guehi would be a decent wee signing. Had a great Euros, great on the ball. He's fantastic on the ball. And I said last week that if worse comes to worse, and I still think we need a DM. I still think we need someone that can push Gravenberch or rotate Gravenberch, or even potentially put Gravenberch into an 8 position and have a defensive-minded DM there that's good on the ball. And if worse comes to worst, Marc Guehi, I think, has the attributes to just slot in that DM position in certain games. If you're talking about, go back to the Fulham game, for example, when we went down, when we went down 10 men, and we sort of like went all out attack, didn't we, to get back into the game. And Gravenberch sort of played DM, but he sort of cut back into the centre-back role at the same time. I think Guehi could do that. I think in certain games where you're chasing games, where Slot wants to just turn it up, tweak it up a little bit tactically. And I think that's what Slot wants. What Slot wants this season is many ways of playing, many ways of beating their opponent. Yes, you can have plan A, but we need plan B, plan C. And I think Slot is absolutely doing that with the signings that he's buying and the depth that he's buying. A right back, Frimpong and Bradley's right back options is perfect example for that. 2 different kind of right backs, 2 different styles of playing. Depending who you play, depending what situation you're in, he can switch it up on the click of his fingers. If he wants to go a bit more attacking, Frimpong plays. If he wants to sit a little bit more and some a bit more solid defensively, Bradley plays. It all depends on not just opponents, but the time of the game and how the game is changing tactically. Sometimes we might be 3-0 up. We've already got the job done pretty much. He might bring Bradley on to settle things down. There's times where you're chasing a game, say 2-1, 3-1 down. I'm not saying that's ever going to be an option of being 2-1, 3-1 down. Hope we're not, but it's a possibility. We need to chase the game. We bring Guehi on. We play 3 at the back, and we go wide with Kerkez and Frimpong, and we go attack. Guehi can play that sort of DM, not DM role, but going forward, he could push into a DM position, but then covering, obviously, it makes a free back. I think what Arne Slot wants is many ways to play, many ways to beat teams. It's all about results. Also, we're going to play good football. We've got lots of Verts, we've got lots of Salah, we've got lots of McAllister, play good football. And the football is very, very key to this, because I think last season, a lot of performances weren't that good. We're just scraping results. But that's what champions do. However, I do want to see an improvement on performance this season. And I think we get that by the sheer talent that we're buying in Kerkez, in Guehi, in Frimpong, in Verts. The football instantly improves with someone like a Verts coming in, for example, because he's one of the best technical players on the ball in world football. But regarding that defence, I think he just wants another way to play. And if Guehi comes in, we could play 2 at the back. We play Guehi, Van Dijk. We could play Guehi. We could play Van Dijk, Canate. But we can also play 3 at the back in certain games and in certain situations that is needed, where we're going all out attack and we need that stability there at the back. But yeah, I think if this signing is possible this summer, Marc Guehi, if we can get about £40 million for him potentially, I don't know how high I would go, but I think it's very, very vital we do bring in a centre back this summer. Because, like I said, we don't want the same mistakes and make the same mistakes we have in the past, which hurt us massively. Because we always see, they weren't when I mentioned about the other day about we didn't sign centre backs to someone on Twitter, and they were like, well, they weren't the centre backs available. Yes, they were. Gabriel joined Arsenal that summer. Ruben Diaz and Nathan Ake joined Man City that summer. There were centre backs available. Yes, we can wait for Guehi next summer to get him for free. But we still need a centre-back this summer. We cannot go into this season with 3 centre-backs and 2 injury-prone like we did before. Badger says here, welcome, Badger. Welcome in. I don't understand why this club and sort of looking for a project striker like Ekitike. We need a top striker if they want to dominate the league and UCL. I think, Badger, the only issue with that is regarding the top striker is there's not many top strikers around, and the ones that are around aren't available. That's a big issue. Unless, I think, Isak's number one target right now, and rightly so, because for me, he's the most complete striker in world football right now. The problem is, unless Isak forces a move a little bit, not saying and transfer question, but certainly speak to Newcastle and say, look, I do want to go now instead of next summer. and force Newcastle's hand a little bit, I don't think that deal is possible. Unless we were literally just going to slap £150 million down and said, there you go, Newcastle. I think Newcastle say, okay then. Because we've seen before, players have prices, and teams, when they get offered a certain price for a player, sometimes it's hard to say no. But Liverpool are not just going to slap £150 million down for Alexander Isak. And we've got, that is understandable. We've just spent over £100 million on I think we can do it. But again, yeah, we don't work like that, and we negotiate a little bit. I think if there's a deal to be had with Alexander Isak specifically, I think Liverpool will certainly be there. I just think, again, Newcastle don't need to sell. Newcastle no reason to. They want to give him a new contract. Alexander Isak has no reason to really push and go. Maybe next season could be the season that will go back for Alexander Isak potentially, because does he want to see a season? He's not in a rush to leave Newcastle. They're in the Champions League this season. They just won the Carabao Cup. They've got a very, very good thing going on there. There's no rush for Isak just to leave. Yes, he's going into his prime now, and he wants to probably play for the biggest clubs in the world in his prime. But there'll be still, I think, next season they'll still be the biggest clubs in the world still going for him, especially if he has another season like he's had this season. No one's not, stop giving up on Isak. No one's gonna just be put off by him. If he has another season like that and he does it in the Champions League, his interest on him is going to be even more so. He's going to get a big move at some point. He's just got to keep going. But the pressure is on him this season, though. If he doesn't make that big move this summer, then he has to perform this season, because if he drops off, I don't know if big clubs will go back to him. That's the issue. But I think he will. He's too good of a striker, I think, to not turn up for me. But yeah, Alexander Isak would be the best one. But like I said, Ekitike is no cheaper either, right? The Ekitike is no cheaper. It's about 100 million. I know. And that, I don't think no one pays that. And I said that the other day, actually, on WhatsApp to the group. I said no one pays that Ekitike price. Whatever Frankfurt are asking for, they're not paying that. The latest the latest price that were reported around willing to drop to like £64 million. That's still maybe too much for a Broadgate striker, someone that's just done it in the Bundesliga, and not even incredible numbers either. I think he's a decent player, Ekitike, but I've always said the same about him. If Ekitike comes in, he has to come in with another forward for me. He can't be the main guy, and that therefore I'd let Jota and Nunez go, and then bring Ekitike and someone else. But if Jota's staying, and it's going to be Jota and someone else as our striking options, we need a better striker than that this season, for me. But I don't know what anyone else thinks in the chat, but that's my thoughts on that situation. So speaking of strikers, the reason why we do need a striker is because Darwin Nunez is on the verge of leaving Liverpool. But is it going to be Napoli, or is it going to be someone else? So Fabrizio Romano has said that after the contacts took place over the weekend between Liverpool, Darwin Nunez and Napoli, there is a total openness and strong appreciation from the player towards the Napoli project, towards Conte, and he is now fully open to the idea of joining Napoli. So Nunez is pretty much happy to join Napoli, but the big issue is Liverpool are wanting an important transfer fee, and salary will also be key in the topic. This is the issue now, because we bought Darwin Nunez for tops at 85 million euros, was it, in the end, in terms of the add-ons and stuff. I don't know if we paid all the add-ons. I don't think we did. The appearance fee was on there, wasn't it? We didn't play him enough times. But with Liverpool, the way they work, the way they have worked over the years, it is sort of sell to buy. I don't think we're going to be that sell to buy this summer, because we're finally doing a little bit more ambitious stuff without having to sell first. But I still think Liverpool, and certainly Edwards and Hughes, will want as much money back as they physically can. And I think I've always said this, they see Nunez as the one to bring the most in. And with all the sales, that's definitely going to happen. Quansah's gone, Keller has gone, Elliott's probably going to go, Ben Dirk's going to go, and Nat Phillips has just gone. Tyler Morton's going to go, Chiesa's going to go. Either Robertson or Tsimikas is going to go, one of them two. Nunez, out of all those, is the one to bring in the most money. Therefore, that's why I think Liverpool are trying the best to get as much as they physically can out of Napoli. But are Napoli going to pay, say we're going to add 65 million onto his head, or 60 million pound onto Nunez? The issue is Napoli going to pay that money? I think Liverpool need to take a page from their own book where they ask other clubs to negotiate and drop down a little bit. I think that's what Liverpool might have to do. At the end of the day, if they want Nunez to go and they want to bring a striker in, I think Liverpool have to not be stubborn on the price. A bit like what we're doing with Palace and what we did with Wirtz. Bayer Leverkusen won £126 million. And we said, no, we're not paying £126 million. We were adamant we weren't paying £126 million. In the end, Bayer Leverkusen eventually, after weeks and weeks of negotiations, Bayer Leverkusen did eventually give in a little bit. And they said, okay, we'll accept a little bit lower price. And that's what happened. I think that's what Liverpool need to do with regarding Nunez. If they stick at £60 million, for example, I've not really seen the numbers on Nunez specifically, but if they say they stick at £60 million on him and Napoli are willing to pay that, then accept a 55, accept a £50 million for him. If you want him gone and we need to look at elsewhere for that striker position, then I think at some point we need to just say, not cut the losses fully, but just think at least, say, yeah, if we really want him gone, then he has to go. Regarding Konate, I don't want to speak about the report on Konate today because I did see who reported it and who he's worked for. So I won't be talking about the specific report today because he's worked for the scummy paper that I don't want to talk about on this channel at all. But we can speak about the Konate situation in terms of the contract and things like that and what to do with Konate. It's a tricky one, isn't it? It is a tricky one. I'm hoping they do get it sorted. I'm hoping Konate does stay. But if they can't get it sorted, then we've got to try and sell Konate. But again, it's hard to sell someone, when someone's got to come in and pay for him. Is free next summer. And I said this situation is going to come around. We don't want another trend to happen. But right now, it could possibly happen. Konate could stay on and for another year and go for free next summer. That's exactly what could happen. I Will Gamble said on Isaac and pay £150 million rather than project strikers or Alvarez. The journalist said the money is available. I think the money is always available, whether it's sanctioned. But I just think the way we stick £150 million down, how we're going to do that, it needs to be a proper structure in terms of, is it going to be another £100 million up front and then 50 million add-ons or whatever? I think the issue is, I think Isaac could potentially make this move happen if he was to force a little bit. It's like the Wirtz situation. Liverpool was in a powerful position with Wirtz because Wirtz said, I want Liverpool. Wirtz were definitely going to go. He's definitely going. That was already decided. They were going to go to Bayern Munich. But then after speaking to Liverpool, he wanted Liverpool. And that was it. He said, look, he basically said to Liverpool, get me to Liverpool. I want to go to Liverpool now. So at some point, Bayer Leverkusen had to not give in to him, but had to sort of negotiate a little bit further down to, maybe give him what he wants a little bit. Because, this guy's given them brilliant years at Leverkusen and they absolutely love him. They want him to go on and be successful as a player and they want him all the best for him. With Isak, it's a different situation. Isak is not really forcing anything. Liverpool could come in and then, unless Isak says, oh, Liverpool's come in for me, can I go to Liverpool? Then there's nothing else Liverpool can really do. And that's the issue. Liverpool will only bid as well if Isak is definitely wanting to come. And that's, again, that's specifically on Isak for me. What do you think the money LFC will ask for Nunez? Maybe 60 million. Like I said, Badro, I don't think we've actually seen a report on any specific money. There were talks about 65, 70 million, but that was just early reports. But I've not in recent days, I've not seen anything specific on terms of money. I think they could be asking for at least 60 million personally, like you said there for me. Let Alan talk to Isaac, explain the idea of what he can do at the club. He'll be soon wanted to come to us. Slot got the Midas touch. I think it would be nice if Slot could speak to Isaac, but you've got to do it the right way. You've got to go about things the right way, and you can't disrespect other clubs' players. And like I said, if Isaac doesn't push anything on his side, then we're never going to get a Slot Isaac talks, not until maybe next season. Because Wirtz were definitely going to go, and he was open to leaving to other clubs, then he can speak to other people like that. He can speak to other clubs like that. How do you think we'll go for a cheap young centre back wait for Guehi on a free? It's a tricky one, isn't it, John? It is a tricky one because I still think, like I say, if we do wait for Guehi for next summer, I do think we need another centre back this season. But then we're playing with fire, like we did before. Because if we don't get a centre back this summer, then we've got Gomez, who's always injured. Konate is very injury prone, and Van Dijk again. It is pretty much quite similar to 2021 in terms of that. We've just got a better attack now. As in, like, we've got more depth in other positions a bit more now. We've got 2 right backs, we've got 2 left backs. But yeah, it's very, very dangerous game if we didn't get a centre back this summer. Very dangerous game, and I don't like it, and I don't agree with it. And if whether we wait for Guehi or not, we need to address that centre back now, just like we did before. Just like when we waited for Konate, we still needed to address the centre back that summer. Go get Konate next season, but still get a centre back that that's good enough to give competition this summer. And there is good centre backs available. If we're going to wait for Guehi, get another centre back anyway, because Van Dijk's going to have 2 years left on his contract. Konate, we don't know what's going on with Konate at the moment. It's a situation we sort of put ourselves in a little bit, because I think we should have got a centre back last summer. Personally, I think we should have, because Gomez is injury prone. Quansah again, we clearly didn't trust Quansah. We definitely need to centre back this summer. Otherwise, we're playing a very, very dangerous game if we don't get one. But someone who is coming in, who is for certain coming in, and that is tomorrow, and that is Milos Kerkez, guys. Milos Kerkez is on the way to Merseyside. I think he's in Merseyside now, actually. Milos Kerkez is doing his medical today, and hopefully we will see a here we go tomorrow for Milos Kerkez. So yeah, if you want to get an update on Milos Kerkez tomorrow, make sure you do turn the notification bells on Talking Reds, because as soon as the deals happens, we will let you know ASAP. As soon as it's official, we'll let you know as soon as possible. But yeah, Milos Kerkez will be a Liverpool player tomorrow, so expect that anytime tomorrow. What time? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you a time, because I think on 5 o'clock. In the end, Wirtz was 7 o'clock, wasn't it? 7 o'clock was Florian Wirtz. We waited all day for it. We didn't think it was going to happen at one point. And then, so Milos Kerkez, you know what? I think Milos Kerkez will be more the afternoon. I don't think it'll be as late as 7 o'clock, 7:05, 7 o'clock. I think it'll be like afternoonish time, maybe 3, 4. But yeah, it's going to happen tomorrow either way. I think that's what's going to happen. £40 million transfer for Milos Kerkez is set to complete tomorrow, with the medical happening today. And I've not heard anything of the medical work was successful. It'll be tomorrow. It'll all come out tomorrow. As normal, actually. I'll tell you what does normally happen. When we leave stream, this always happens. You'll see over the past 2-3 weeks of when we stop the stream at about 8 o'clock, something always happens after. It wouldn't surprise me if about 8:30 tonight, Milos Kerkez passes medical. It wouldn't surprise me, because it usually happens. Thank you so much, Casual Citizen. Make sure you do, like I said, Casual Citizens helps out there. Push that like button, press that like button. It helps out massively in growing the channel. We want to bring you the best Liverpool content we can. Like I said, every time we go on here, the bigger this channel gets, the better the content gets. I can absolutely guarantee that for you guys. Thank you everyone that has liked the video, and thank you everyone that has subscribed so far. We're on the road to, in fact, I ain't got that up, have I? Let's get that back up. On the road to 750 subscribers. So we are on now, because I need to change it. We are on 728 subscribers. Let me change that around. So yeah, 728 subscribers we are on now. We're on the road to 750. So we're so close now. And let's then see if we can get to 1,000 if we get to 750 as well. Thank you everyone for watching so far. And like I said, subscribe to the channel if you are new. There's another position I do want to look at as well, is also the wide players. Chiesa is going to be leaving potentially to Napoli as well. Chiesa wants to go back to Italy. I don't know who's really in for him yet. I know Napoli wanted him, but we'll see on that situation. But yeah, Chiesa is going to go in the door. So we probably need maybe another forward to cover those positions. And Malik Fofana is the one that's been said the most. When we speak about the strikers, and Isak's number one target, but Ekitike is the one that's been reported the most, from what I've seen, is like the top one that's possible. Malik Fofana, obviously a youngster at Lyon, very, very good. He's very, very good on the ball. Good, great cross of the ball. He loves to drive at the box. He likes to be. I say that it's a bit more like Diaz than he is Gakpo, but more of a wider player where he does like getting down on that left side and getting the ball in the box. I'd say if you were mixing like Kerkez and Diaz a little bit, you get Malik Fofana, very, very good talent anyway. So certainly one to keep an eye on, because I think we could get him a good price for the price, for the age that he is and the potential Malik Fofana's got. I wouldn't surprise if we were in for him properly and we were to get him. For me, also Barcola came from Lyon, very, very good talent. PSG got him, so Barcola's another player that Liverpool have looked at as well. But this is the one for me. I think that could potentially happen. Liverpool, and this is a con to Sacha Tavolieri. Liverpool are keen on Malik Fofana as potential replacement for Federico Chiesa. Head of recruitment Barry Hunter highly rates him, ranking him as a top target. And I like this. I like this this link a lot. Like I said, I think he's a very, very high potential player. And I think he can play both wings. He's a left winger, but I think he's got potential to play both wings. The problem is we've got Diaz and Gakpo on the left wing now. And we don't want 3-4 left wing, especially when Rio is there as well, as as an upcoming youngster. And I think Rio has potential to be a first team in a couple of years, easy. I think we'll see more of Rio next season under Arne Slot. And I think it's a very, very good chance that he is the guy that they look at. So it would be, I do like I said, I do like Fofana, but will it stop the development of Rio? That's a big, tricky one. Let me know in the chat, guys, what you think on that. What you think on that? Because I think Rio has bags of potential and being very, very good at Liverpool. I think he, like I said, it could be first team in a couple of years. So Fofana would challenge that, but it's the Diaz situation at the moment. If Diaz were to go, then Fofana's a brilliant one to bring in. But if Diaz isn't to go, do we really want to flood one position on the pitch when we don't really need a left winger as such? It is a tricky one, but like I said, I do like the link. I do like the player. You're all the best Liverpool channel. I've seen a lot of them. I know. Thank you so much, Casual Citizen. I want to be better, though. I do want to be better. Look, I absolutely love doing these interactions, the shows and the news. And I absolutely love this. I love speaking to you guys at home. I love interacting with you guys and talking about our favourite team and giving you the news and giving this transfer news. But next season, we've got some more shows planned and live as well, live shows and pre-recorded shows, but more shows planned. We've got a rival show coming up where every week we're going to have different rivals coming on, speaking about the weekend. So we've got a good banter on that. Me and Hooks always do a show every single week anyway. Hopefully next year, maybe some more, maybe some watch-alongs as well, match previews, live match reactions as well. We do that constantly as well. But yeah, watch-alongs is another thing that I'm open to. But what I want to do is different kind of content that you're used to seeing on other channels as well. Whilst I love doing this, I want to do this and I want to do different kind of content, exciting and really entertaining content for you guys based on Liverpool and football as a general thing. But yeah, I've got some big, big ideas. But what I need is for you guys to push this channel as much as you can, like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and push it out there as much as we can to get to the level where I can create better content for you guys. Because I absolutely love speaking about Liverpool and I absolutely love doing this with you guys, because whatever you guys give to me in the chat and some of the comments that I get are unbelievable. I want to give back to you in the content that I'm doing. So you think Robbo will go to Atletico, or if Simicast stays, give a chance to Owen Beck? In fact, there was a little talk about Owen Beck, actually. Wrexham are actually plotting a loan deal for Lewis Beck. I think that'd be a very, very good signing for Owen Beck. A very good move for Owen Beck to go to loan to Wrexham. Wrexham obviously coming from the conference all the way to the championships in a few seasons. They're now above Luton, believe it or not, after like 3 seasons of them being in Premier League. Liverpool have been inundated with queries regarding Beck's availability. There are multiple Premier League clubs as well as Championship and in Scotland keen on taking him. That is according to Lewis Steele and who else was it now? Nathan Salt. So they're both from Mail Sport. So very reliable journalists, very reliable sources there, that Owen Beck could be going to Wrexham on loan. What would you do as Owen Beck, guys? What would you do in the chat? What would you do as Owen Beck? I don't know what Premier League clubs are open to loaning him or buying him, whatever. It just says Premier League clubs and teams in Scotland. But Wrexham is the only club that has been named specifically in this. I think it's a good move for Owen Beck. Wrexham have the idea of getting to the Premier League, and I think I think they could stay in the Champions League for a couple of seasons. They've got to get that foundation Champions League in the Championship first, because it's a tough league to get out of, and it's a tough league to get into. If they could stay in the Championship for at least 1 or 2 years, Wrexham, I think they can push for the Premier League with the ambitious behind them, the ambitious owners behind them, and the revenue that they make now and the money that they make and things like that. I think they can really push. Owen Beck to be a part of that first Championship side for Wrexham would be a good move for him. A very, very good move for him. He certainly needs those minutes, and certainly needs to get out there and play at a good level. And I think Championship is a good level, a very good level. We've seen Martin go out there and succeed. We've seen Harvey Elliott go out there and succeed. Bayer, whether they came back or not and succeeded at Liverpool, they still did really well at their clubs respectively. It's a very good level. But yeah, Kerkez is going to be here. But regarding Robbo and Tsimikas, see, us at the channel, I don't think there's anyone at Talking Reds that have said they want to keep Tsimikas and get rid of Robbo. We're all in agreement that I think Robbo's probably best staying and letting Tsimikas go. But right now, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. It looks like it is going to be Robbo going. I think we'll see more of that in maybe in a couple of weeks. Robbo went on holiday, didn't he? So Robbo's on holiday right now. He's probably got thinking about a lot of things. If he comes back and speaks with a team like Richard Hughes and Slot and Michael Edwards, I think we'll see more in the next 2 weeks about Robertson and his future. It's again, we've got some interesting things to sort out, haven't we? Really, we're talking. We've brought 3 players in now. Kerkez is going to be official tomorrow. So that'll be 3 players through the door. We need to then, I think that's what will happen next, is focusing on sales. Nunez gone. Robert or Tsimikas, one of them is going to go. Elliott's probably going to go. Brighton want him. I think the reported fee was about £40 million for Brighton. So Elliott's going to end up going wherever he goes. Quansah's gone out the door. Keller has already gone. And then I think we look at striker, centre back, and for me, I still want a DM. I don't see anything. I don't see any reports on DMs. I saw one on Stiller like 4 weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago. I've not seen anything since, which is a shame because Stiller would be my choice personally. I think he'd be again, like I said at the beginning of the stream, Slot wants different positions with different kinds of way of playing. Stiller is a different DM to Gravenberch. It's a different way of playing. Whereas Gravenberch is a forward runner, is a progressive runner. That's why he's more of an 8. Still as a passer. And what we don't get from Gravenberch in that position, we'll get it out of Stiller. And vice versa. And that's what I think that's what Slot's sort of building right now, is building depth in positions, but that gives us different things, different ways of playing, different ways to beat teams, different ways to break teams down. And I think that's what Stiller would give us in that DM position, a different way to play. And for me, if you want to keep the ball and play possession football the way Slot likes to keep it, Stiller's a perfect DM for that, for me. So yeah, I would be looking at that. But yeah, like I said, I think we're going to be looking at striker. Which striker? That's the biggest question of all. Which striker do we look at? That's the issue. Isak, also we said that already, his number one target, but is he available to really get? Like I said, it's on him to push it. If not, then it's like Ekatike. There's Osimhen. Talk about Osimhen potentially. Gyökeres. There's a few out there, but it's just who would really suit us as a team. And with Wirtz there, I don't think we need someone that can play in that sort of false position. And I've always been seeing that. I've been seeing recently on Twitter a lot of people saying, "Oh, play Wirtz at false 9." Look, it can work in certain games. Wirtz at false 9, like Slot wants to change it up tactically, he can do that in a game, but do not start him there and do not make him there be that for the season. Wirtz needs to be in that 10 position. If we want to get the best out of Florian Wirtz, I did a video on it the other day. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch it on our videos comparing to Philippe Coutinho. If you want to get the best out of Florian Wirtz, get him in that 10 position for me. What DM do you want? Because the DM position is important. We need a aggressive DM. For me, Badger, yeah, I still think Stiller. I think if you want a different kind of DM to Stiller, like an aggressor or someone that can tackle and get the body about, Belaber's probably the best one. Brighton's Belaber. But I've said it before, we absolutely rinsed them for Alexis McAllister. We ain't going to get Belaber for anything less than 600 million. 600 million is what we might get in Belaber for, because they want their McAllister money. Now, I think they will put a massive price on Belaber, though, will Brighton. And I don't think that's possible for me. But yeah, my preferred DM would be Angelo Stiller for Stuttgart for me. Osimhen said, Osimhen for your option for up front. I really don't want to spend 130 to 150 million pound on Isak. How hard is it to find someone else for half that price, really? And this is why I don't understand why we're not looking at Gyökeres. Because Gyökeres he had a gentleman's agreement, didn't he, for like 60 million pounds with Sporting Lisbon to go. Obviously, they're sort of breaking that a little bit now. There's reports of him not agreeing to that gentleman's agreement, and they wanted more for him. But for half the price of Isak, I'd go back for Isak next summer. I'd be looking at someone like a Gyökeres now, who's pretty much going into his prime right now, scoring over 100 goals in 2 seasons. Yes, it is the Portuguese league, and Nunez did well there. But if you just watch the difference between Nunez and Gyökeres, the composure of Gyökeres is exactly what Nunez hasn't got. And for me, with Salah there, Gakpo, Diaz there, Wirtz there, all we need is someone that can put the ball back in the net. We don't need the complete striker like Isak is. But I would choose Isak because he's the complete striker and he puts the ball in the back of the net more often than not. But Gyökeres is just literally that absolute hitman up front, that finisher that would score for fun next to Salah and Wirtz. He would score for fun. So if you want a cheaper option, then I don't know why we're not looking at Gyökeres. I don't. And it's mainly Man United and Arsenal at the moment that are being linked to him. That would be my choice anyway if I was looking elsewhere. But yeah, Nat Phillips has left Liverpool as well. Nat Phillips has got finally gone from Liverpool. It's been easy to forget about. He's been on the Liverpool squad for a long time. We'll never forget what Nat Phillips did in stepping up for that season when we did have that injury crisis, and the turn against AC Milan at San Siro. We'll never forget that. But yeah, it's been a wasted wage money for me in the last 2-3 years. But yeah, we will bank about £3 million including add-ons for selling Nat Phillips to West Brom. West Brom have got him, so it's a good move for him. I think it's a good fee for him as well. £3 million for someone that doesn't even. It's just wasting away, wasting loads of wages on him. But yeah, West Brom's got a good player there, and I think Nat Phillips has made a good move for West Brom. I think it's a good move for both sides. I was surprised to see Nat Phillips only 28. Yeah, I mean, it just didn't realise he hadn't been at Liverpool. You just haven't realised he's been at Liverpool, but he has been here for quite a while now. But like I said, thank you, Nat, for your services that he did do that season. But yeah, it's a good £3 million for Liverpool. But you know, I think what to expect now as Liverpool fans, though, guys, is just basically sales. I think we'll sell on. I think we'll just try to sell as much as we can. Try to recoup some feedback. You know, like we do. You know, we like being sell to buy. We certainly want to get as much money back as we can. This is why the Nunez one, we want a big fee for him, because it could be very, very tricky unless Napoli are willing to pay that big fee. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching tonight. I hope you all have had a good Monday. I know it's a Monday. Mondays are rubbish days, but I hope you all have all had a good Monday and a good weekend. Be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So if you want your latest news tomorrow as well, join us at 7 o'clock tomorrow night for latest Liverpool news and transfer news. And also, like I said, if you are new to the channel, if you like Liverpool's content, if you want to keep up on the Liverpool news, get hitting that subscribe button and like the video if you enjoy it as well. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a good night, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow.